There's not much to say. This is still one of the best trucks on the market today. But as I said in the last video, it's still missing just one thing that would just take it to the next level. I borrowed this 2025 Chevy Silverado ZR2 from Jerry Seiner here in Salt Lake City. Be sure to check out their inventory. This truck is available for sale. Let's go ahead and check out the window sticker so you guys can see the options and features on this build. At the very top is the description. And this is the slate gray, which is one of my favorite colors, metallic paint. And short listing of standard equipment is right here. Base price is $70,000, and starting off the options is that ZR2 Bison Edition package for $8,440. Technology package is $2,040. This one does have the 6.2 liter for $1,500. Sunroof, active exhaust is a part of the 6.2 liter. Destination comes in at $1,995 with a total price of $85,165. And here are the Philly comment numbers. Let me be the first to say it. Nearly $90,000 for a half ton is hard to swallow. But if you were to look at a 2500 ZR2, unless you skip the diesel, you could have basically an H2 truck for similar money that can tow a lot more and have a lot more payload compared to this truck. But if you're not towing, I mean, this is a really nice one to get. I really do like slate gray with the AEV edition. It's like the perfect match. The only thing this truck is missing is just the black essentials, because right now you have these chrome outlines on the badging right here. This would be there regardless, but it does black out the red here. And of course these would all be blacked out, including the outlining, and you would lose that red here too. But on the front end, check out the headlight design. The black essentials does black this out too. And you have these clearance lights built into the front grille. Full LED headlights with the animations, and an LED fog light, which is like a projector style. Front parking sensors. You have these robust recovery hooks here, cast. And down below, big skid plates. This is why you buy a AEV edition. Like if you live on a farm, or if you do go off on the beaten trail a lot and you want to protect the underbody 100%, or if you live in areas where things fall off trucks all the time and you can run them over, that would just give you that added benefit too. These are through AEV, which is American Expedition Vehicle. That's their badging there. Active grille shutters. You can see the camera on the front end right here. And overall, you have great ground clearance. And this truck has a really good stance too. And then here's a look at that hood too, with that big old bolstering in the middle there. Let's take a look at the suspension next. On this truck, you do have a coilover setup. So you have the coil and the shock absorber combined together. And you don't see this on the other Silverado half tons. Double wishbone, so that top control arm is going to be aluminum. The bottom one is hydroformed, and you do have a stiffening bar right there. That steer knuckle is also finished in aluminum. And Multimatic DSSV is dynamic suspension spool valve. So you have 3 chambers. One has the oil, one has the spool valve basically, because it doesn't have deflective disc. And here's the wheel liner. And then check out your meaty tires. Some big old tires. I'm actually joking. For as much as this Bison package is, they should have went on ahead and upgraded the tires to 35s for 2025. I think that they had it in their budget to do so. Now, in the last video, I talked about this Ford Raptor having 37s, right? On this Chevy, that costs about the same as that Raptor, has 33.2 inch tall tires. They're about, I believe, 10.8 inches wide, somewhere in there. And yes, for this truck to be nearly 90 grand, I really think they should have opted for a larger tire size. I mean, they already put them on the HDs, and I'm pretty sure they'll fit. But these are the Goodyear Wrangler Territory MTs. LT 275/70/18 is the tire size, and then here's the capacity for the tire right there. 2,680 pounds at 50 PSI. They do give you the fender flares with this truck as well. And then here's a side view. You can see the black door handles, smart key system on the front doors. And this one has the rock rails too, which I like. You can never have too much protection, right? So yes, having the rock rails, and then check this out, big skid plates down below. You have one for the transmission, which is right here, and that transfer case. And then as you guys saw up front, and also with this AEV edition, they do give you a skid plate for the diff too. I'll probably try to show it to you a little bit better out back. And where's that fuel tank? Oh yeah, fuel tank has one too. And yeah, these rock rails go pretty far in too to protect the cab. You guys probably saw the mirror caps has some painted trimming right there, and the light forward. Also, blind spot monitoring. And there's really not a lot of chrome on this truck. Otherwise, just the badges, that's really it. 24-gallon fuel tank. You do have to burn premium for the 6.2 liter. And then here is a look at the suspension. More Multimatic out back. You have 5 leaks in that main pack, although that bottom one is a helper spring. Wax coating on the frame, and they still give you a liner. They better for this kind of money though, right? And then right below here, full size matching spare tire, and then you guys can see that diff cover right there has some protection. So if you have to slide over a rock, it don't damage that. They don't offer that for the HDs because I guess that rear end is really strong, and they believe that even if you do scrape over a rock, it should be fine. Rear bumpers are also through AEV. You do lose the step, however, and then this one has the parking sensors. You do have a spot here on both sides for light pods. Now, I don't know why they don't make the auxiliary switches standard on this truck. As a matter of fact, I don't even think you can get them on a half-ton truck. Chime in the comment section. But here's the badging. And they do black out this part of the MultiFlex tailgate, which I kind of like. And it does turn into a step. Oh, I've never seen that happen before. But yeah, these pop out. You do have a kicker sound system, and you have a light system that can go in here too. They do provide the handle here, and they have 12 tie downs inside the bed. They used to stamp ZR2 right there, but now every truck just gets a Chevy bow tie. There is some bed lights right there. And here are the cameras. I wonder if you can get that carbon fiber bed for the ZR2. I know on the AT4X you cannot, but that would help with Payload, which I don't know why they don't offer. 400 watts of power is right there. And then if you want to see that roof, there it is. Overall, this is a nice truck. Great wheel design, by the way, by AEV. Those do get upgraded with this package. And I don't know if I showed it to you guys, but those are your recovery hooks on that rear bumper. And dual exhaust too. We're driving the ZR2 right now. And one thing I'll tell you about these off-road trucks, one thing you can definitely notice when you get into this versus a regular Silverado is you do feel like you're sitting a little bit higher. That's the very first thing I noticed in this truck here. Now I'm about to get to the train tracks here. I'm going to hit them at a little bit higher speed. Basically what the speed limit is, I'll be pretty much going over them. I want to see how the suspension reacts to it. Because the DSSB, as I've said in other videos, it does perform better. Yeah, it performs so much better in trucks like this. Like even hitting that bump right there at the lower speeds, you just have a lot better dampening, and I feel like the suspension has time to recover and continue to dampen. And that's because these shock absorbers do have oil reservoirs too, so it does help with heat, and so you don't have that fatigue kick in after time when you're going off road for a long period of time, going on really bumpy roads. And if I were to punch it, I'm going, let's go 10 miles an hour. Let me get over this train track too. Oh yeah. Wow. So I do have the exhaust open. This has the active exhaust, and that comes standard with the 6.2 liter. They do have an intake online. It's expensive though. It's like $850. You know, they make it so expensive because they're installing it for you, right? But they're taking away the one that you're basically taking off. I mean, because you're obviously not getting that one. They should just give you a credit, and it should be about 500 bucks, but I'm not gonna go down that road. But yeah, this truck does feel good on the highway, guys. It feels really good. I'm gonna get there again. I was just on there, but I didn't have time to turn the camera on. And when you look around the interior, this truck is loaded. It has dual climate control, heated and ventilated seats. You have a 12-inch screen. You also have a 13.4-inch display here. And if you're someone who can't park, hopefully you guys will see this, you have that bird's eye view. And shockingly, the camera does stay up when you're driving. I'm actually shocked that it does that. It also gives you this bed view here. And I didn't mention on the outside, but this does have the front and rear lockers, downhill assist, and this does have the paddle shifters as well. So if you are looking to shift it manually, it's not really for like sporty driving. I feel as like it does better for like towing, because the gear shifts aren't precise. Like when you hit it, it doesn't shift the gear. It seems like it's just holding the gear for you a little bit longer, then it'll shift. But I think it's mostly for just towing. Like if you want to lock out 8th, 9th, and 10th gear, for example, that's what that's really used for here. But overall, I mean, this has the gray stone interior. I think that ever since GM refreshed these trucks, they've done a great job with the overall layout. Chevy's very simple, and I should really say GM is very simple, because the way they lay things out is just very easy to learn. It's easy to find things inside this truck. Their infotainment systems are easy to use and quickly learn. You can customize this screen here. And I mean, this truck rides great. I think that if you want a really cool pickup truck, this is the one to get. I'm gonna get back on the highway now. I'm only about 50% down, wide open throttle. So there's a lot of power with the 6.2 liter. There's a lot of power. And I think that if you need that power with this little bit heavier truck, you might want to skip that 3-liter Duramax, because that Duramax runs out of steam around 50 miles an hour. At 50, it feels like it has 300 horsepower. But on this truck, I feel as though when you get to 50 miles an hour, you just have begun with this V8. I mean, it just has ample power, great pickup, very responsive. As soon as you hit it, the transmission drops down, holds the gear. Although I am in sport mode, so there's that too. And you can really hear that exhaust too. If I were to put it back in normal mode, that exhaust sound just goes away. And all you hear is the 6.2 liter. But yeah, overall the steering is nice and straight. The brakes feel amazing. This truck is heavy because when you hit the brakes, you do have to give it more input. That's one thing I noticed when I was driving through the city, like when I was going about 40 miles an hour. You do have to give it more input on the brakes for sure. But not a lot of tire noise. I'll be quiet for a second here. There's a little howl, but we're going 65 miles an hour, and I could live with that. My tires on my AT4X HD, they're super loud. Sometimes I wonder if the wheels are also another culprit to extra noise. So I don't know, maybe if I find some of the AEV edition AT4X, maybe I could drive their truck. They have similar miles to see how much louder their tires have gotten. But these Territory MTs, they tend to be decent tires from what I've seen. Here are the numbers on the door. Gross axle rating up front's gonna be 3950. The rear is 3,800 pounds and a 7,100 pound gross fuel weight rating. Wheels are gonna be 18 by 8.5, and payload takes a beating. Now these rock rails and these heavier bumpers are gonna really hurt the payload. I did a video on a regular ZR2 and it had almost 1,400 pounds of payload. So 8,800 pound conventional towing, and this truck is 6,041 pounds on the curb. So when you figure your gross fuel weight rating is only 7,100 pounds, it doesn't give you that much room. But I hope you guys liked the video. I didn't show you guys, but the only difference you get on the interior for the AEV edition is that and that. And if you want to see more of the interior, I did do a video before this one on that new color ZR2 right there, and that's a beautiful truck. But yeah, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Check out Jerry Seiner's inventory, and I'll see you guys soon. Hopefully.